From East Butler, Pennsylvania, we are here at East Butler Baseball Fields. It's the East Butler Bulldogs and the Meadville Mustangs playing in Game 1 of the Rust Belt League season. Hello, everyone. Luke Burgess here with you. I'm your play-by-play announcer for the Meadville Mustangs all season long. And for you now, as you can see, both teams out by their respective dugouts getting ready to go. But first, we have a coaches show right now on the Meadville Mustangs Twitter, or in the process of uploading to the Twitter. So we'll get things underway here in a few minutes. But first, we want to kind of talk about what's going to be going on here tonight. We've got our starting lineups for you. We're going to talk a little bit about the rosters. The number one thing as we go into this season, people want to focus on this or that. Well, we want to focus on the development. That's the number one. Welcome back to East Butler, Meadville Mustangs and the East Butler Bulldogs just a few moments away. We're here and we have some starting lineups for tonight's game. We'll start with the Mustangs. In center field, Jordan Suvak. Left field, batting second, Carson Weibel. At shortstop, Kenny Lavrich. Batting fourth at third base, Braden Marcellus. Batting fifth at first base, Mason Bevan. Batting seventh in right field, Brian Feldman. DHing in the 8-hole, Josh Siegel. At second base, batting ninth, Cole Grabble. And catching for the Mustangs, Zach Streitgriff, batting ninth. And then the extra hitter as well, batting 10th, John Sharp. For the Bulldogs, in right field, number 2, Marco Visi. Batting second, shortstop, number 16, Brendan Corloy. Batting third, number 9, the designated hitter, Chris Mullins. Batting fourth at first base, number 28, Tommaso Floro. Batting fifth at third base, number 17, Nico Melogran. Batting sixth in left field, Jake Baumgartel. Batting seventh, number 13, catching, A.J. Kuzier. Batting eighth, the pitcher and designated hitter, Evan Kirscher. Batting ninth in center field, number 6, Sean Dewey. And batting 10th, the second baseman, number 7, Peyton Falk. So we'll be getting underway in just a few moments. 6:53, 7 o'clock first pitch. And I want to quickly go over the starting pitchers as well. Starting for the Mustangs, Zach Wilson, the right-handed pitcher on the mound. And Evan Kirscher, who we already mentioned, who is batting 8th in the lineup for the Bulldogs, will be on the bump. So, 86 and sunny, low winds here. It's a beautiful day in western Pennsylvania, and we're just getting ready to get underway here. The umpires for today's game in the field, Fred Orozco, and behind the plate, Lou Stahl. So, the managers and for both teams currently at home plate, getting those lineups out as we get closer and closer to first pitch on the Mustangs Baseball Network. So, real quick, we want to talk about the field dimensions here. It's a high wall all the way around. It stays pretty consistent. Apart from in center field, it gets a little bit taller. Now, we don't have an exact measurement of exactly how tall it is out there right now, but we've got a short porch on both corners. Down the line in left field, only 300 feet. Left center field gets out to 348. Center, which is the deepest part of the ballpark, at 365. So you really just got to hit it high, and you have a chance to get a fly ball out of here. Right field sits, or right center field rather, sits at 350. Down the line, 310. So a high wall, it's going to be hard to hit it out. You're going to have to hit some fly balls, but if you can get it high enough, you can certainly get one out of here. There's no doubt about that. Just 5 minutes out from first pitch right now. We are here in the booth, and we'll be back in just a moment. So brief camera outage, but that is to be expected potentially with the Wi-Fi quality that we have here in East Butler. But we are back, and we are just about ready for baseball. So the Bulldogs will take the field momentarily, and we will get underway here. We have a few more talking points before we start tonight's matchup. First of all, the team is behind where they thought they would be, according to the East Butler head coach. We talked to him this morning, and he said that, you know, there were some fundamental things that maybe they thought would be a little bit more hammered down at this point, but they still need to work on them going into the season. So maybe expect a few bumps in the road as we get here. Obviously, a lot of these players have come straight from college, so, you know, they haven't had a chance to gel. And I think we will see the beginning of that tonight. Also, the early part of the season, as we said, it's going to be used to work out kinks for both teams, and this really is the case all throughout the league. Teams need a little bit of time to work out their issues. But it is opening day. Meadville has a slightly more experienced team, according to the manager. That's what they said early. And it's also time to get a feel. Get a feel of how the season's going to go, how Welcome back to the Meadville Mustangs Baseball Network. We are here almost ready for first pitch in East Butler. So the Bulldogs have taken the field. Kircher is on the mound, and momentarily, Jordan Suvak, the center fielder for the Mustangs, will be coming to the dish to get things underway in 2023. So a 26-game schedule is upon us. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll be here with you all the way for Meadville. Both teams taking the field in just a moment. So Suvak comes to the plate. 7 o'clock, 7:01 exactly, and we are underway in the Rust Belt regular season. The first pitch called for a strike. 7:01, the start time in East Butler. And Kircher delivers the first pitch, the 0-1. Here it comes. And that one bounces off the plate, and the rubber plate sent it into the air. And we apologize for some technical difficulties here early on. 1-1 count. And it's Suvak at the dish. Here's the 1-1. And he fouls that one back. Back over top of the netting that sits over top of this field. As we said, a relatively short field. If you think if someone gets under one enough, they could potentially get it out of here on a fly ball. 1-2 count to Suvak. Kircher gets the sign, looks home, and delivers. Here's the pitch. And that one off speed high, didn't get a grip on it. And count is even at 2-2 in East Butler. Underway here, 86 degrees and sunny, no winds. Meadville in the red tops with the gray pants. And then the Bulldogs, a little bit of a pinstripe action going. The orange pinstripes on the pants, the orange tops with black sleeves. 2-2 pitch, here it comes. And that one's grounded onto second base, picking it up, throwing on to first and getting the out. A nice play there by Peyton Folk to get the first out of the game. And Carson Weibel comes to the plate now with 1 out in the first inning. Weibel in left field today. Kersher gets his sign from behind the plate, and the 0-0. Swing and a miss. Got him with the off-speed, down low and away. A good first pitch to Weibel. Weibel patrolling that short porch out in left field today. We'll have to see how he does on defense. Kersher ready, throws the off-speed. That one's down low for a ball. Counts all even at 1-1. So a doubleheader tomorrow for Meadville at Allegheny. This the start of their season, but then they head back home tomorrow for game number 2 and 3. That one up high and outside. 2-1 the count. Here in the top of the first, just getting underway from East Butler baseball fields in East Butler. And the Bulldogs hosting the Mustangs in game 1 of a 26-game season. Here's the 2-1. That one swing and a miss right down the middle. And the count even again at 2-2. Home plate umpire Lou Stahl behind the dish, making those calls tonight. And then Fred Orozco out in the field. Kersher's 2-2. And that one is off the end of the bat and into foul territory. So Kersher, or Weibel rather, heads back to the plate. Count remains 2-2. And as you will notice tonight on the broadcast, we don't have an excellent view down the right field line. The same thing applies for the view from the press box, as we have the camera right up here in the booth. So Weibel at the dish. The count is 2-2. Weibel out in left field. Kersher gets his sign, waits a little bit, and now delivers 2-2. And on the outside corner, called for a ball. Full count to Weibel. So no stats really to report so far, and we don't know the players that well yet. They've only been together for a little while. 3-2 pitch, called strike 3. Weibel is going to go back to the bench after the second out is recorded, and didn't look like he was a huge fan of it, but regardless, shortstop Kenny Lavrich now to the dish with 2 outs in the first inning. Lavrich, a product of Grove City, and he's got that arm guard and shin guard as he comes up to the plate. Lavrich trying to work on a 1-2-3 inning here in the first half inning of our season. Delivers that one. That one's ripped into left field, back towards the wall, and it's off the base of the wall. He runs around and holds it first. It's picked up. Now he decides he's going to go to second, and the throw is errant. So Kenny Lavrich, a single, advances to second base on the error by Baumgartel in left field. And the Mustangs have their first hit of the season. Folk heads out to the mound to hand the ball back to Lavrich. Some words of encouragement, but it's Braden Marcellus now who's playing the hot corner today, who comes to the dish, trying to drive home that runner in scoring position. So score that, a single, and then advances to second on the errant throw. The first pitch fouled off right back up to us. 0-1. Top of the first here in East Butler. Evan Kersher on the mound, the right-handed pitcher for the East Butler Bulldogs. Here's the pitch, up high, way up by his head. Evens the count up at 1-1. So we've seen a pretty decent mix so far. Looks like he's tossed in a changeup, a few breaking pitches, and also heavily leaning on that fastball. And going to be tough to hit Kersher, but a good knock early on out to the wall by Kenny Lavrich, the shortstop. The 1-1 pitch. Here it comes. And that one's fouled back. Once again, just got under it a little bit. That one kind of drifting in there. And now a pitcher's count 1-2 in the top of the first. Speedo Field, the site of the opening day game for the Meadville Mustangs, starting out on the road this season, their first season, and the first game ever for both of these teams. 1-2 count. Lavrich looks his man back to second, looks back on the pitch, and that one chopped down the left field line and picked up in foul territory. So we'll stay at 1-2 in the top of the first inning. It's Braden Marcellus at the plate, the third baseman. And you got the entire left side of the infield at the 3-4 hole. Still 1-2, runner on second base for the Mustangs early on. Lavrich looks him back, now delivers, and that one's up high. 2-2 count. Went with the fastball there. And Marcellus has been in swing mode, so tries to get his eyes to shift up there with the fastball and delivers it just a bit high. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Man, that one in the dirt, full again. So Lavrich racking up the pitches early on, and you got to watch out that it doesn't get too far out of hand early. So obviously, you can consider the first inning a win from the hitting perspective on the offense for the Mustangs if they can rack up that pitch count, even if they don't score a run here, especially with the single and advance to second on the air. Evan Kircher on the mound, the 3-2 pitch. That one's popped up in the air, down towards first base. And it's going to be foul, out of play. And as we mentioned before, it can be a little bit difficult to see down that right field line in East Butler. So full count, 2 outs in the inning, and a runner on second base. That runner is Kenny Lavrich, the shortstop for the Mustangs. Home plate umpire Lou Stahl gets a new batch of balls from the East Butler dugout. Full count pitch. Kircher takes his time. Now he delivers. And that one's ripped into left field. It might get down. It will. A big hop and coming around. It goes all the way to the wall under the glove of Baumgartel. So 2 errors in the inning for him, and scoring on the play is Lavrich. It's a double for Braden Marcellus and the first extra base hit of the season for the Mustangs. So early runs and early hits, 2 quick outs for Lavrich, but then not the case on the third batter of the inning. And now coming to the plate, Mason Bevan. First baseman, number 25, getting his first at-bat of the season, as is everyone. So they trade places. The runner still at second. The Mustangs now lead this game 1-0 in the top of the first. Early runs. First pitch is up high for a ball. Bevan, shorter first baseman, but has a lot of power. Fastball down in the dirt. And that one, ball 2. So 2-0 count. And now maybe the Mustangs, after a quick start, the ground out to second rather, and the strikeout looking. It looked like it was going to be a quick inning for Kircher, but not the case. After a single that dropped down in left field, and then a ball that snuck under the glove ruled as a double for Braden Marcellus. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss. And 2-1 count. He had the hitter's count. Wanted to be aggressive and maybe a little bit too aggressive. Bevan now still holds the advantage. Maybe looking for one pitch in one spot. Evan Kircher on the mound, the right-handed pitcher. Fouls one off. Back behind the plate, and count is all even at 2-2. On the mound, Evan Kircher. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's up high. Full count. So he goes full to the third straight batter now. No outs in the top of the first inning here in Butler. Full count pitch. That one's up high, and he walks him. So runners on first and second after the walk, and a little bit of momentum for Meadville. It's Brian Feldman now who comes to the dish with 2 outs in the inning, and we'll see if he can keep the 2-out rally alive. So a walk to Bevan. He'll reach first base. Brian Feldman, the right fielder now, number 7 in red. First pitch down in the dirt. And ball 1. So a really strong start to the inning for Kersher, but then running into some quick problems and now struggling to keep a hold on this inning, and getting out of it here would be huge. He does have the advantage of having 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. And that one right down the middle, taking all the way after the walk, and it's a 1-1 count to Feldman. Feldman, the 6th batter of the inning, after Kersher recorded 2 quick outs. And the pitch. Ripped down the middle. It's to the shortstop. That's Corloy, and he throws on to first and gets the out. So a little bit of a bump in the road, but nonetheless, everything ends up all right. We'll head to the bottom of the first on the Mustangs Baseball Network. It's 1-0 in favor of the Mustangs. Bottom of the first inning on the Mustangs Baseball Network, and coming to the plate to lead it off for the Bulldogs, Marco Visi. Going to get things started. The right fielder didn't see any action in the top of the first on defense, but now he comes to the plate down 1-0 in the game. Mustangs jumping out to the early lead after an error in that first inning in left field. Zach Wilson on the mound, the Slippery Rock product, and then Allegheny as well. And the first pitch for the Mustangs on defense, that one just outside, fastball, called for ball 1. So Wilson, kind of a late addition to this team, not listed on the team's online roster, but has come in. The 0-1, or 1-0 rather, popped up and back out of play. So count is even at 1-1. Wilson, Meadville area senior high school product. And now, after a few years of college ball, coming to the Mustangs, and breaking pitch outside, goes for ball 2. So 2-1 count. Mustangs out to an early lead in East Butler. Here's the pitch. And that one's ripped down into right field. Will it stay fair? It will. And rounding first is VC. He's going to get into second with the head first slide, and it's a leadoff double for the Bulldogs. So that one down into left field, and the second double we've seen in just one inning. Quick fielding from Feldman to get it in. Out in right field, so able to hold VC to a double. And, you know, we saw that mistake in left field from Baumgartel when the Bulldogs were out, as Brendan Corloy comes to the plate, made the final out of that first inning. Wilson comes set. Got a man on second, and the first pitch called for a strike. Off-speed pitch on the outside corner. So the leadoff runner on, and now the challenge is to keep this game in favor of the Mustangs with no outs in the inning. Wilson looks back to second, delivers the pitch, called for a strike. It's 0-2, the first 0-2 count we've seen all afternoon. Strideff behind the plate calling the signs for Meadville. Wilson shakes him off once and then says he's good to go. 0-2 pitch. And that one grounded down the line. It's going to head foul. Brendan Corloy, the shortstop for East Butler in their inaugural season. And both teams happen to be there in their inaugural season. Wilson, a relaxed stance, pitching out of the stretch. Wearing number 20 in that gold lettering. Slow leg kick. Now he delivers home. That one picked right back to him. He looks on to first and gets the out. So 1 away in the inning. The runner in VC will advance to third. But the first out recorded for the Mustangs. So now it's Chris Mullins, designated hitter. Won't see him in the field. His first action of the game. Runner on third, 1 out. Zach Wilson on the mound gave up the leadoff double to the right fielder, Marco Visi. But now Mullins, number 9, at the dish. First pitch, ball outside. Goes down 1-0 in the count. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. And that one outside as well. Fastball that time, though. On the far off the outside corner, actually. And count will move to 2-0. Wilson on the mound, making his Mustangs debut, as is every single player today. 2-0 the count to Mullins. The pitch up high, 3-0. And now he's going to sit back and try and get on base here. Strideff behind the dish. Got to make a call here. Maybe try and challenge him with the fastball, but you got to be careful with that DH power. Mullins, a big guy, sitting over 6 foot at the dish. Strike call on the fastball. So 3-1, and he does exactly that. Goes after him, tries to attack, and now the count 3-1. And Mullins still holds the advantage. Wilson takes a deep breath, gets his pitch, and now delivers the 3-1. That one fouled off down the right side. Foul ball. So full count. Wilson works it back all the way to 3-2. Now pregame, manager for the East Butler Bulldogs mentioned how, this team needs time to gel. They haven't been together very much. They haven't been able to practice. The coach has only met the guys just recently. 3-2 pitch. That one's down in the dirt, so he walks him. He'll head to first base. Still just 1 out. First and third in the inning. Coming to the plate now, Tommaso Floro, the first baseman. Number 28 from Allegheny College, repping that Gator helmet. Wilson's first pitch, that short leg kick, that one right back to him. He throws on to second, and it's into center field. The throw is wide. The runner's going to advance to third. The throw is right on the money, and what a throw from Suvak. He gets him out at third. Marcellus looks him back to first, so they get the out on the play. No runner at third. He's cut down on the error. And that one going to be a bit interesting to score, but Nico Mellengren comes to the plate. So that's the runner, Mullins, out at third, making the second out of the inning. And Flora reaches on the error. First pitch, down low and outside, ball 1. Mellengren, the third baseman, not involved in any action in that first inning defensively. Now he comes to the plate. Wilson looks in, takes his time, looks the runner back to first twice. Now he's set, pitching from the stretch. Comes home with it. That one foul back. 1-1 count. Two outs in the inning. One game. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Gets him with that hook and then goes to 1-2. So 1-2 count. to Nico Mellengren, third baseman. Wilson comes set. Looks home, takes a deep breath, and delivers, and fouls one off. Keeps the count at 1-2. Mellengren, number 17, in orange this afternoon, going into evening, and sure we'll see those lights on as it gets darker here. Wilson looks back, and now he comes home with it. Ball down in the dirt. 2-2 count, evens it all up. Two-one count to Mellengren. 2-2 count, rather. Wilson looking for the strikeout, looks the runner back to first. And here comes the pitch. Outside, low. Full count. So, 3-2 count, 2 outs, 1 runner on here in the first inning. A 1-1 game in the bottom of the first. It's Nico Mellengren at the dish for the Bulldogs. Here comes the pitch. Hits him. So Mellengren will head to first, and now runners on first and second. Tommaso Floro heads to second, and Mellengren on the hit by pitch with a full count will head to first. So still 2 outs, runners on first and second. And Jake Baumgartel, who committed that error in the first inning, now comes to the plate for the Bulldogs. Wilson trying to reset, knows that so far it's only 1 run. And now 6 hitters in the inning for the Bulldogs. First pitch, fastball outside. 1-0. One game, all even in the bottom of the first inning. 9-inning game here tonight under the lights. Wilson delivers the 1-1. That pitch up high. 2-1. So both starting pitchers throwing a lot of pitches in the top of or the respective first innings, rather. And both of them starting out fairly strong and then making an error or two that kind of derails them. Ball outside. Makes it a 3-0 count. And now Wilson got to get off the schneid here before things get ugly. Here's the 3-0. Fastball down the middle. Throw down to second on the pickoff attempt from the catcher. And that's Strideff who throws down, and the ball kind of kicks away from the second baseman, Grabble. So no play on him. Luckily, Lavrich there to back him up. 3-1 count. Runners on first and second, 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. 1-1 game in East Butler. Here's the pitch. That one, ball 4. So down to first base, and now they're juiced. Bases are loaded with 2 outs, and it's the second walk that Wilson has issued so far in the first inning of work. A.J. Kuzier catching will come to the plate for the Bulldogs. He's got the bases juiced.
Now batting number 14, A.J. Kuzier.
Kuzier wearing number 13 and setting up behind the dish. And we apologize for the video problems. We will get that sorted out as fast as we can. Kuzier comes to the dish for the first time this season, bases juiced. He's got a big opportunity here. The first pitch, strike 1. Gets that up and outside corner, finds the edge of the strike zone, and makes it an 0-1 count. Really important for Wilson to get ahead in the count early. The 0-1 pitch delivers in. That one fouled off down the right field line and gets it to 0-2. So now sitting in the driver's seat on the mound. He hasn't done that very much, but a chance to get out of this inning without a lot of bleeding. 0-2 count, bases loaded. Here comes the pitch. That one down in the dirt. Kicks away from the catcher, Stridiff, but luckily he's able to corral it. No runner comes home, and we're all good as far as keeping this game tied. Kuzier, the 7th batter to come to the plate in just the first inning. And of course, all these players using wooden bats. Bases loaded. We got Floro on third, Mellogran on second, and Baumgartel on first. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and he gets him down. So the Mustangs get out of the inning with not a lot of damage. 1-1. And we'll head to the top of the second here on the Mustangs Baseball Network. Back on the Mustangs Baseball Network, top of the second inning, 1-1 here, all tied up. And Evan Kirscher retakes the mound in the top of the second. The second pitch is hit directly onto the plate. So 1-0 count. And it's the designated hitter, Josh Siegel, at the plate for the Mustangs. Kirscher's 2-0. Swing and a miss. Gets him... Make a pass. And here's the pitch. Down low, 2-1. 2-1 count. Top of the second inning. Kirscher on the mound for the Bulldogs. Here's the pitch. Down low, 3-1. So a 3-1 count, top of the second inning. Kirscher still out on the mound for the Bulldogs. 1-1 game. Both teams able to get some runners on base, but not score too many, and that one's a strike. So full count once again, and it feels like the 10th full count we've had already, but not even 10 batters to the plate for the Mustangs. Here's the full count delivery. Strike 3 called, and he gets the second strikeout of the game looking, sends Siegel back to the plate. And it'll be Cole Grabble, the second baseman. And Grabble comes to the dish, facing Kirscher for the first time. Still the first time through the order, both teams hitting 10. Kirscher's 0-0 pitch. That one's grounded to third base. Picking it up is Mellogran. Throws on the first, and he gets the out. On to Floro. So 2 outs in the inning. That one pretty quick, and the first action we've seen at the hot corner all afternoon, or all evening rather. And now it's the catcher. Strideff comes to the plate with 2 outs and trying to get something going here late in this inning. Strideff calling the balls and strikes. Got that green helmet on. First pitch called for a strike by Lustal. So 0-1 count. And Kershaw trying to have a quick inning after that first one. That pitch called for strike 2, and he's well on his way to doing that. 1-1. Wind up and the pitch. Swing and a miss, gets him swinging. So 2 strikeouts in the inning and a 1-2-3 inning. A bit of a change from what we saw in the first. All knotted up at 1 after 1.5 in East Butler. Back on the Mustangs Baseball Network, top or bottom of the second inning rather here, and the Bulldogs' second chance to hit, trying to get themselves out to a lead, and it's the catcher, A.J. Kuzier.
Now batting, A.J. Kuzier.
Evan Kershaw, rather, comes to the dish. Ball 1 up high. And Kuzier ended the first inning. The pitch from Wilson is outside and wide. So 2-0. Both pitchers struggling just a little bit with command so far. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Gets him on the 2-0 pitch. Now, a little bit back in the driver's seat. Back to 2-1. Kershaw the pitcher rather, wears number 10. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one breaking ball down in the dirt. 3-1 count. Here's the pitch on the 3-1, and it's a fastball up high. Gets him swinging. Full count now, and another full count early on to Kershaw, the pitcher. No outs in the inning. First batter, Wilson on the payoff pitch, winds and delivers. That one, ball down low, so he's going to send him to first base, or maybe not. A little bit of a mix-up with the count. So now a 3-2 count. Just a pitch later. Wilson on the mound, shakes him off, now gets his pitch. And the payoff pitch, winds and delivers. Ball down low. So this time he walks him. So we get the true outcome regardless. Runner on first to start the inning, and the third walk already for Zach Wilson. Center fielder Sean Dewey, number 6, coming to the plate for East Butler. Short center fielder, but got a lot of speed and got those socks going. The rolled-up pants, quite the style. Comes with the black Victus bat. No outs in the inning, top or bottom of the second. Center fielder Dewey at the dish. Wilson winds and delivers, sends a fastball up high. 1-0 count to Dewey. Wilson gets his pitch. Winds, delivers. Strike called. Fastball in there on the outside corner. Evens the count up at 1. Dewey manning the middle of the field out there in the outfield, right behind that Speed O field, tall wall. Wilson's 1-1, winds and delivers that one down low. 2-1 count. Number 6, Sean Dewey at the dish for the Bulldogs, trying to drive across that runner at first. Kersher, who has so far given up 1 run in 2 full innings pitched. That one ball outside. So another tough count for Wilson. Looks the runner back to first. Now he gets his pitch, winds and delivers. And that one's ripped foul down the right field line. So 2 strikes on the hitter. Bottom of the second inning, 1-1, all tied in the inaugural game for both teams. The first game ever played between these two in the Rust Belt League. Here's the pitch from Wilson, and that one fouled back. So keeps it at 2 strikes, keeps himself alive. He's going to take a little lap now. Wilson gets that ball back, and will do it all over again. Strideff, the signal caller, as we mentioned, in the bottom of the first for the Mustangs. Wilson now gets his pitch, looks home from the stretch, delivers. Breaking ball, and just inside, he's going to walk him. So the second walk of the inning, and a little bit of control issues for Wilson early on here. So now runners on first and second, and it's the second baseman, Peyton Folk, who comes to the plate. Folk at the bottom of the order, hitting in the 10-hole, strike 1 to the right-hander. And a heavily right-handed lineup on the Bulldogs side. And, you know, these teams only really, they've been established for months, but only just getting together. We don't know a lot about the other teams. Obviously, we know a little bit about our hometown Mustangs. Swing and a miss makes it 0-2. So Wilson looking for the first out in that inning, and runners at first and second. Both guys been in trouble so far, apart from that top of the second just now from Kersher, who stands on second. Really efficient 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts. Here's the 0-2 pitch, up high, ball 1, 1-2 to Folk. Folk made the first out of, he made history, really. Made the first out of the team's history on a ground out from Jordan Suvak. Wilson now looks home and delivers. That one's driven into center field. Back on it is Suvak, and he makes the catch. So they trade a little bit. It's a ground out from Suvak in the top of the first that gets thrown on to first for the out. And now Folk comes to the plate, and he flies out to Suvak to make his first out. So back to the top of the order. Marco Visi, who last time up got a hit. It was the only hit of the inning despite a run scoring, and he did come around to score. So 1-1. Wilson needs a new ball after the hit. Ball's a little bit scuffed up. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Wilson looks the runner back at second. That's the pitcher, Kersher. First pitch, breaking ball, called for a strike. So now we get a little bit of experience, right? We're through an inning. We were seeing the lineup the second time around. We know what these guys are like, and we know that there's a lot of right-handed hitters in this Bulldogs lineup. One of them is not Brendan Corloy, who comes to the plate second in the lineup, made the first out in Bulldogs history. That one fouled back just now, so 0-2 count and a chance to put him away quickly here. Wilson looks his man back to second. Now comes home with it. Fastball outside. So can't get the 3-pitch strikeout. It's a 1-2 count. It's a VC. Runners on first and second. Here in the bottom of the second. Zach Wilson looks back to second. Comes home with it. And that one's a ball down in the dirt. Doesn't swing at it. Looked like the slider there. Tried to get him with the slider outside and just couldn't complete the task. Was close. Good pitch, but not good enough. 2-2 count, 1 out in the inning. Runners on first and second. Zach Wilson, the right-hander, on the mound. The opening day starter. That one driven into left center field. Moving on to it is Suvak. Suvak makes the catch and no tag, so he's going to throw that in and 2 outs. And now Wilson kind of getting the hang of it a little bit, able to settle down, eliminate some walks, and there's 2 outs, and Brendan Corloy, the shortstop, will come to the dish.
Now batting, Brendan Corloy.
Runners on first and second. Corloy's first time grounded out to the pitcher. And there were a few groundouts to the pitcher in that first inning. First pitch from Wilson is fouled back, and he left the breaking ball up high. 0-1 count. Corloy, the shortstop, involved in the final out of the first inning earlier on. That out called by Fred Orozco, our base umpire today. 0-1 pitch, and they're going, but it's fouled off, low and inside. Really one of the first inside pitches we've seen all day. It's been a lot of the stuff on the outside corners, trying to make sure that the hitters can't reach it. You don't want to pitch too dangerously so far, but it's made for a long first inning and a half, by today's standards at least. Wilson shakes off the first pitch. Now he gets what he wants. Pauses on the leg kick and comes home with it, and just leaves that one a little bit up high. Was trying to get him to chase, so 1 ball and 2 strikes in the second inning. Zach Wilson, the pitcher, on the mound for Meadville. At the plate, Brendan Corloy, the shortstop. Here's the pitch. Runners take off again. Now the throw down to third is good, and is the tag in time? No. So the double steal goes into effect, and the throw from Stridiff was just a little bit high to Marcellus. He was on the foul side of the third base bag, had to come back across, and wasn't able to get the out. So now runners on second and third, 2 runners in scoring positions. Suddenly things are starting to look a little bit more scary here in the bottom of the second. Wilson takes a minute, looks towards his dugout. The umpire has to restock on baseballs. 2-2 count to Corloy. Batted last time, or last inning rather. And cheers from behind us, as you may be able to hear. Several youth games going on at the East Butler baseball fields. 2-2 pitch. Popped up in the infield. That one heading towards the shortstop. And he will make the catch. It's Lavrich. So gets out of the inning without allowing any runs. A good job from Wilson to bounce back. We'll head to the top of the third. All tied up at 1. Top of the third inning in East Butler, and it's John Sharp, the extra hitter, who will lead off for the Mustangs.
Now batting, John Shaw.
And after a rocky start, a real good bounce back from Kersher in that second inning. Went 1-2-3, setting guys down fairly quickly. And we, as I said before, we do apologize for any interruptions in the video footage. On the road, it can be a little bit difficult based off the facilities that we have. So first pitch is up high, and it's 1-0 to Sharp. Third inning in East Butler, swing and a miss, and the count even up at 1-1. And Kersher, the right-hander, stands just a touch under 6 foot. Sharp stands over 6 foot. As we said, the extra hitter in the lineup, and sun's starting to set in East Butler. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one's fouled back right over the booth and into the parking lot. New ball for the catcher, wearing the Green Bay Packers themed gear behind the dish, as you may be able to get a shot of when he comes to the side. So 1-2 count, Kersher on the mound. The number 10 hitter, John Sharp, at the dish. Kersher gets his pitch, winds, and now comes home with it. Fastball up high. 2-2. All even up. 1-1 the score here in the top of the third. It's John Sharp at the plate. Kersher delivers the 2-2. That one's driven out into right field. It looks like it's going to find the right field gap. Jumping for it and missing is VC, and it gets all the way to the wall. It's a double for the extra hitter, Sharp. That one just tailed away as soon as it got into the outfield, and it's another double. A lot of runners getting past first base and back to the top of the order. Jordan Suvak now coming to the dish
Number 12, Jordan Suvak.
for the Mustangs. So a runner on second, no outs in the inning. Kersher trying to keep this game tied in the top of the third. Winds and delivers the bunt, thrown down right back towards the mound, and he can't glove it. Throws on to first, but it's late, so both the runners are safe. Runners at first and third, no outs, and it's a rally going for the Mustangs. Lays down the nice little bunt, a great touch, and gets the single. Carson Weibel, the left fielder now, has a runner in scoring position, gonna try and drive him in. Runners on first and third. Kersher trying to settle it down. The first pitch is in the dirt. Ball one, 1-0. Once again, chance from the Little League games going on, and we actually have a pitcher throwing for East Butler down the line. So Kersher maybe looking at getting pulled. That one gets in on his hands, fouled off, and looks a little bit shocked for a moment off the base of the broadcast booth, and Kersher has a word with the umpire before throwing the ball back to the catcher. All tied here in the top of the third inning. It's Carson Weibel, the left fielder, at the dish for the Mustangs. Runners on first and third. Kersher looks to first, gets set, now comes home with it. And that one just popped up towards center field. Moving in on it is Dewey, and Dewey makes the catch, tagging from third, and now looking back, and a great throw over the backstop, and maybe regretting that he didn't run is Sharp. Either way, it's a fly out to center field. The runner does not advance, and there's one out in the inning.
Now batting the shortstop, Kenny Lovich.
As you can hear from our PA announcer, Kenny Lavrich, now the shortstop, coming to the dish. The Grove City College product got that single and advanced to second on the error in the first inning. So already one hit on his season, and probably the best struck ball we've seen. Evan Kersher puts one on the outside corner, and he doesn't agree with it. And I don't think we do in the broadcast booth either. Just a touch outside. Left-handed pitcher warming up. for the Bulldogs. 0-1 count, runners on first and third, 1 out in the inning. And that one hits the plate, bounces up, and coming home with it on the wild pitch is Sharp. He will score, so the Mustangs take a 2-1 lead off the wild pitch. And it's the plate, very rubbery, and obviously a home plate area that's covered in turf, so the ball does bounce, and that one directly off the plate, not the right place to throw it whatsoever, and bounces to the backstop. So runners on first and second, and a run scores for the Mustangs. Kenny Lavridge at the dish at shortstop for the team in red. 1-1 count in case you've forgotten. Runner on second, 1 out in the inning, delivers. That one ball outside and low, 2-1. So we are seeing some offensive action coming in. It was unclear, really, whether or not that would be the case because both of these teams have really not had very much time together whatsoever. But 3 runs, and we're only in the 3rd inning. Lavridge delivers on the mound, fastball up high. 3-1 count. A chance to get a little bit of a rally going if Lavridge is able to get on base. All these players using wooden bats in the Summer Collegiate League. Practice for the next level. Playing deep in left field is Baumgartel. That's where it was hit out towards last time. This time it's driven to center field. That one takes a big hop. And the throw home, it's going to hold him. So no run scores on the play, but runners on first and third after the single from Kenny Lavridge, his 2nd of the game in 2 plate appearances. Lavridge really just gets the barrel to that ball super well there. And the runner doesn't go all the way, but Braden Marcellus now, the cleanup hitter and third baseman, comes to the dish with a chance to score some runs. So only 1 out still in the inning, already 1 run in for the Mustangs, trying to add on. Evan Kersher gets the pitch he wants. Now comes home. That one foul down the line and in towards the bullpen. And one of the bench players for the Bulldogs kind of protecting that bullpen down in the left field corner. Snags the ball, as I'm sure you can see on your screens. And you can. Of course, we have to double check sometimes with our feed cutting in and out here in East Butler. 0-1 to the cleanup hitter, Marcellus. Lavridge looks home, now comes home with it. And same pitch, kind of just gets it off the end of the bat. That time it trickles over towards the dugout. 0-2 count. Braden Marcellus, the third baseman, at the dish for the Mustangs. 0-2 count. Lavridge just 1 out in the inning so far here at Speedo Field in East Butler. Lavridge gets his pitch. The swings and delivers, and it's a swinging strike. The throw down to second is going to get the runner. So it's a strike him out, throw him out, and it was the runner, Kenny Lavridge, who went past the base. So it's 3 outs in the inning, and talk about a rally killer. Just like that, swinging strikeout, throws down to second, and gets the 3rd out of the inning. We are through 2.5 here in East Butler. It's 2-1 advantage for the Meadville Mustangs. Back here in East Butler, Chris Mullins, the DH, leads off the inning 2-1 in favor of the Mustangs so far, but bottom of the third, a lot of game to go. Zach Wilson back on the mound, had a tough inning with the walks last time, and his first pitch of the inning is low for ball one, but quickly recovered. Only gives up 1 run in the first, and then after the walks, no runs in the second inning, so able to get out of it, and we sit at 2-1 here in the bottom of the third. The pitcher, Wilson, delivers a strike right over the heart of the plate. Breaking ball, and it's 1-1 to Mullins. Mullins wears number 9, designated hitter in this lineup. Wilson on the bump, winds and delivers. Outside, 2-1. So now if you're the hitter, looking for maybe another one of those breaking balls, he's used it quite a few times to get me over pitch, excuse me. Maybe goes back to it here, we'll see. No, fastball outside, 3-1, and in danger of another walk. And this one would be his 5th just in the third inning, so struggling with control is Wilson. Mullins the first batter of the bottom of the third inning. Wilson takes a deep breath, now delivers. Ball 4 outside, so it is his 5th walk, and struggles on the mound so far with control. Only 1 run allowed, but quite a few walks. And Tommaso Floro, the first baseman, will come to the dish. And Mullins now, 2 plate appearances and 2 walks. He's reached base both times, but hasn't had to swing the bat. So Tommaso Floro, number 28, in that blue helmet. First pitch outside, breaking pitch from Wilson. One runner on here in the bottom of the third. Pitch from Wilson. Ball outside, and looking him down was Strideff, making sure that Mullins didn't go anywhere. We're here at Speedo Field in East Butler, just about 10 minutes east of downtown Butler. Floro at the dish. The pitch called strike. So first strike of the at-bat, 1-1. The count to the first baseman. Bottom of the third. 1 runner on after the walk. Wilson's 5th. Shakes off the first pitch he sees. Now gets what he wants. Goes into the stretch. And the pitch. Ball up high. 2-1 count, and he's behind again. So at what point, if you are the coach, do you start thinking maybe we need to go out there and reel him in? Hard to say. But certainly the control a factor that you have to be thinking about on the mound right now. 2-1 the count. Wilson takes a deep breath, looks home, looks to second, and delivers. Strike called. 2-2. Fastball gets it in the zone, and the loud strike call from Lou Stahl behind the plate. 2-2 count. Runner on first. Shakes off the first pitch. Looks the runner back to first. Wilson goes through his routine. Stretch and the pitch. Strike 3. Got him looking. Sends him back to the bench and gets the first out of the inning and the first strikeout of Wilson's season. Nico Mellengren coming to the plate. Number 17, the third baseman rather, was hit by a pitch his first time to the dish. First pitch is up high and almost gets him again. So ball magnet so far, and the first strikeout of Wilson's season just now to Tommaso Floro. So looking to stack them up here, but got to get back in the zone. Looks to second, now comes home quickly. Ball outside, 2-0. Count. The pitch, ball outside once again, 3-0, and in danger of another walk here. Maybe from Strideff's point of view, you try and go out and reel him in a little bit in this moment. 3-0 pitch from Wilson. Here it comes. Ball up high. So another walk, the 6th of the game for Zach Wilson. 1 out. And Jake Baumgartel, the left fielder, who also walked last time he came to the plate. And Baumgartel wearing number 14 for the Bulldogs. The first pitch. Ball down low and looked like a changeup. Looked like he might have caught the bottom of the zone, but a tight strike zone so far for Lou Stahl behind the dish. 1 out in the inning. Pitch number 2 outside. 2-0 the count to the left fielder. Looks back to second, fakes the steal, strike called on the 2-0 pitch, so 2-1 now. And the little look back, Mullins faked like he was gonna go there, but decided not to. Swing and a miss, good breaking pitch outside, evens up the count, and Wilson battling back. So Mellengren, who sits on first base, can play a few different positions, mainly sits in the infield though. And he's at third base today. Wilson looks the runner back, and Mullins fakes like he's going to steal again. The pitch home is past the catcher, and both runners will advance. So a wild pitch, and ball 3, full count. Now runners on second and third with an out in the inning. Full count and in danger of walking a third batter with just 1 out in the inning. Wilson certainly struggling with control here early on. Baumgartel twirls the bat, now gets ready to go. The full count pitch, fouled off, just off the top of the bat, and it looked like he might get right under it, but he does get a piece. Keeps the count full. (3-2). Full count, 1 out in the inning, 2 runners on. Both have reached on walks, so no hits in the inning. But the Bulldogs have certainly been playing the waiting game with Wilson thus far. The pitch up high, and he walks the third batter of the inning, and now maybe a little bit of concern on the Mustangs side. But no mound visit yet, and now they will. It'll be a visit from Coach Cosby. So Cosby going to go out there, try and talk to him, maybe reel him in a little bit. A.J. Kuzer comes to the plate. Swinging away, and it's going to be a full team mound visit for the Mustangs. And if you're talking to Wilson right now, it's hard to know what to say. You've got to get him back in the zone, but that's certainly no easy task when a guy doesn't have his control, especially on the first day of the season. Still haven't had a lot of time to work on things, and as Lou Stahl heads out to the mound, Cosby said he's all set. Stahl has a quick word with Stridiff, and we will get play back underway. So just to reset things for you, 1 out in the bottom of the third inning. A.J. Kuzer about to come to the plate, the 5th batter of the inning. 2-1 lead for the Mustangs, 1 out as we said, but that lead in potential of slipping away from Wilson. Winds and delivers the first pitch, and that one's to the shortstop. Big hop on the infield, throws on to second rather, and then the first, and gets the double play. So he gets out of it. And another amazing escape job from Zach Wilson. The 6-4-3 double play ends the inning. We will head to the 4th, and somehow it's still 2-1 Mustangs. Back here on the Mustangs Baseball Network, opening day in the Rust Belt League, and it's Mason Bevan to lead off the top of the fourth for the Mustangs, who are leading 2-1. So a good start of things, and they're trying to keep it rolling here into the fourth. So second, third of the game, and the first pitch is outside for a ball to Bevan. Here's the pitch. That one down at his feet. Bevan, his first time up, walked, so hasn't seen any action with the bat just yet. 2-0, the count. Evan Kirscher still on the mound, and a bit of confusion with the numbers in between innings that players are wearing. Fouled off from Bevan. So 2-1 count, and looks like he really wishes he would have got that one. Slams the bat in frustration a little bit. Just a light tap on the turf here in East Butler. 2-1 count, no outs in the top of the fourth. Sun starting to set in Western Pennsylvania. The pitch, that one's bounced on the first base and picking it up, and he's going to do it all himself. That's the first baseman, Floro. So 1 out, and it'll go as 3 unassisted. And now Brian Feldman, the right fielder, will come to the dish. 1 out in the inning. Mustangs hold a 2-1 lead over East Butler in the first game they've ever played. And Kirscher shakes off the first pitch and then agrees with the second. Kind of a common theme that we've been seeing here today, and now he delivers. Strike one called, breaking pitch into the zone. 0-1. Brian Feldman, the right fielder, at the dish. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one called for a strike on the inside corner. He looks back in potential frustration. 0-2 the count. Evan Kirscher on the mound, looks home. Now he delivers. And that one chopped down the left side of the infield and into left field. Takes a big hop, and it's a single for Feldman. The first single we've seen all day, well, at least when the runner didn't advance to second on some type of error. So Siegel comes to the dish, the designated hitter. And he struck out looking his first time around, but just 2 innings later, he's right back at it again, and now there's a runner on base with 1 out in the inning. Throws over to first, and we don't quite have the view, but the signal's safe from base umpire Fred Orozco, yes, sorry. On the mound, first pitch fouled off, and looks like he got a piece of the umpire, and you would think Kujar would probably go back and check on him there, but he doesn't. On the count, and home plate umpire Lou Stahl thankfully looks to be okay. Kirscher on the mound. Top of the fourth inning here, just past the 8 o'clock mark, 1 hour into this game. Pitches up high, called for a ball. 1-1 count, even after the 0-1 fastball. Josh Siegel, after Brian Feldman singled into left field. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that one drills him in the back. Looked like maybe a changeup or an errant breaking pitch. Gets him nonetheless. Runners on first and second with 1 out in the inning, and Meadville has a chance to get out to a lead. Cole Grabble, the second baseman, comes to the dish. And A.J. Kujar quickly heads out to the dish to calm his man down. Grabble wears number 17 and just the singular batting glove as well, which you don't see very often, almost probably less than you would see no batting gloves. The first pitch to him is outside, and both runners are going to take off, and you hear the call of eat it. So a wild pitch, gets away. Now 2 runners in scoring position, 1 out, and you eliminate that double play possibility, getting rid of the force out. Cole Grabble at the dish for the Mustangs, 1 out, and it's Evan Kirscher on the mound. Kirscher looks the runner back to second, comes home, and it's a hard fastball right down the middle. Gets him for strike 1. 1-1 count. It's a grabble, hitting 8th in today's order. Kirscher looks the runners back, delivers. That one drilled up the middle, off the glove of Kirscher. He's searching for it. Now he's going to try and go to first, but he realizes he doesn't have a play. Run scores, 3-1 Mustangs. So just a little dribbler back to the pitcher's mound, and Kirscher not able to corral it. It's a single, and a run scores. So runners remain on first and third. And it's 3-1 Mustangs here in the top of the 4th. It'll be Zach Strideff, the catcher, now to the dish, number 18. And scoring on that play was Feldman from third. After both guys moved up on the double steal. Strideff, Slippery Rock product, worked with Wilson there, and that kind of has translated, maybe a big reason that Wilson was named the opening day starter. So runners on first and third, just to refresh you, 1 out here in the top of the 4th, and a great day, beautiful weather. Manager comes out momentarily to talk to his guy, but he will head straight back to the dugout and leave Kirscher out there to clean this mess up on his own. So runners at the corners, 1 out in the top of the 4th. Zach Strideff to the dish. 3-1 in favor of the Meadville Mustangs. Here's the first pitch. That one fouled down behind him and off the catcher. Quickly gets that one back in, and you see behind the dish, Kujar with that yellow and green gear. Maybe potentially a St. Vincent product. Who knows? We haven't had a chance to talk to them just yet. Here's the pitch. Doesn't go. Thought about it, but a ball called. 1 out in the inning. And after a visit, first pitch to him is a ball. Strideff, the catcher, obviously just like everyone else in his first year with this team. Here's the pitch. That one popped foul out of play. And he watched it pretty intently as it went out. Count even at 1-1. Kirscher in his 4th inning of work surrendered 7 hits so far through 3 1/3. Winds and comes home. Didn't go again, they say. Thought about it. Now he takes a minute here, looks down to his third base coach, who is also Coach Ben Cosby. Takes a couple practice swings, laughs it off, and he's going to step right back into the box. Time call briefly. Going to get a moment, and of course we don't have the same rules as are now instated in the pros. You can take multiple timeouts in at bat. You can pick off more than 2 times, and there is no pitch clock here in the Rust Belt League. Here's the pitch. Called for a strike, and that's strike 3. He's going to tag him, so 2 outs in the inning on the 2-2 pitch, and the second strikeout of the evening for Strideff. This one doesn't end the inning, but it is the second out, and John Sharp, who ripped a hit his first time around, comes to the dish looking to rip another one and get a few more RBIs. Sharp wearing number 11. Kirscher on the mound. Winds and delivers the first one. Called for a strike. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. 3-1 advantage for the Mustangs. They have a chance to make it a few more if they can get a hit here, but 2 outs in the inning. The 0-1 pitch. Grounded. Up to the pitcher. It kind of takes a weird hop on the infield throw onto first, and he's safe by a considerable amount. So a run does score Runners on first and second, and it's 4-1 Mustangs. That ball really slowed down on the infield, and it is hard to play it off the turf, but another RBI for John Sharp, or rather another hit. RBIs came behind him after he led off the inning in the third. So back-to-back runs score. And now it goes back to the top of the order. Jordan Suvak is third at bat, fouls the first one off. 0-1 the count. Siegel who scored there. Suvak at the dish. 0-1 the count. Evan Kersher, the starter in the first ever game for the East Butler Bulldogs, delivers a pitch, and the catcher, Kuzier, kind of falls back a little bit into the home plate umpire after that pitch. Maybe blew him back with the velocity, but it's a ball, and the count is even after the 0-1 fastball. Lights haven't begun to turn on here, and we will start to lose daylight pretty soon. Just about 8:20 here in Western Pennsylvania. The pitch. Checks his swing, does not go. And they ask for the appeal. They're going to say no, so a 2-1 count, keeping the inning alive. Manager Cosby giving out the signs down the third baseline. Suvak out in center field today, getting his third at-bat in just 4 innings, so you can tell there's been a lot of base runners. Winded deliver, and that one almost got him. Fastball up high, had to duck out of the way. 3-1 count, and a chance to get the bases loaded for the Bulldogs. So it's Sharp on first, Grapple on second, Grabble rather. And Suvak at the dish. back here on the Mustangs Baseball Network, and we apologize for the delay, but got to keep in mind that it's opening day for everyone, so mistakes will be made early on. But to sum up, 2 runs in the top of the 4th inning, and Mustangs now lead 4-1, so the count is 0-1 to the current batter, and that is Evan Kirscher. The pitch outside. No outs in the inning. Ball down low. Kirscher walked his last time up. Zach Wilson on the mound. Winds and delivers. Strike called. Gets him with the fastball. Kind of floated that one in there a little bit, but nonetheless, he gets the call, and that is what's important. Bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the pitch. That one drilled out to left center field. Moving over is the center fielder, Suvak, and the 2 outfielders collide. Suvak and Weibel, and the throw in. So it's going to be an error. No communication out there, and that is part of that chemistry we talked about. So Kirscher going to reach second on the error. And the ball was on the warning track. Both guys look to be all right, which is nice, of course. No, you don't want any injuries, especially on opening day. So Sean Dewey, the center fielder now, comes to the dish for the Bulldogs. Runner on second to start off the inning. And a little bit of a mound visit. Got to clean things up, but if you're Wilson, you can't be too shaken up after that. You get a clean fly ball. It did stay in the ballpark, and just a lack of communication in the outfield, which is definitely something we see from teams that have yet to gel, and I think that really just is the case here all the way through. So bottom of the 4th, 4-1. The Mustangs do hold a 3-1 advantage. And Sean Dewey, center fielder, coming to the dish with a runner in scoring position and no outs. And the first pitch from Wilson. That one drilled on the ground over to shortstop. Picking it up is Lavrich. He's going to throw on to first. That one gets by first base, so another error. Runners on first and third. Right fielder Feldman cuts it off pretty quick, but 2 errors now in the inning. First and third with the runners. And it's Peyton Folk, the second baseman. So no hits. And no earned runs if any of these runs come around to score, but definitely playing safe now for Folk. And it's a throw down to second base on the steal, and of course, with the throw, they get the out actually after he comes off the bag, but Evan Kirscher will score from third on the throw down, so 4-2, inching back a little bit. No runners on now, but 1 out in the inning. So the throw down from Stridev, pretty good. And it wasn't that got him. It was Sean Dewey coming off the base afterwards. Strike called on the pitch to Peyton Folk. So he'll go down 0-1. And a run already in. Marco Visi on deck, the right fielder for the Bulldogs. The pitch from Wilson. Strike called, and he'll head back to the bench. So it's a 3-pitch strikeout, gets him looking, and 2 outs in the inning. Marco Visi now back to the top of the order, and once again, Wilson doing a little bit of damage control after he had runners on first and third with no outs. The runner from third does score, but they get the out at second base. And now A question from the head coach down at third as to a ruling. Maybe questioning the strike zone a little bit. Regardless, Marco VC comes to the dish in the bottom of the fourth. Wilson with 2 outs delivers the first pitch. It's a breaking pitch, inside corner, called for ball 1. 4-2, bottom of the fourth, no runners on in East Butler, opening night of the Rust Belt League for both these teams. And if you can see out beyond the center field wall, we got quite a hill out there. We got some families chilling out there. Nice little atmosphere on what has turned into a really nice evening. That ball's down low, called for ball 1, so 1-1 count to VC. Wilson sets and delivers. Pitch called for strike 2. Nails the outside corner with that fastball. 1-2 count. Wilson agrees with the first thing he sees thrown down from straight. Sets and delivers. Ball up high. 2-2, count even. Bottom of the fourth, 2 outs. Chance to get out of the inning for the Mustangs. Count even here in the bottom of the fourth. 2-run advantage. Marco VC, the leadoff hitter, at the plate for his third at-bat. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3. He sends him back down. And home plate umpire apologizing now, just strike 2 rather. So he went for the strike call, but instead it's a 2-2 count. So as we said before, it's opening night for everyone. Mistakes will be made, but we get right back to it. He takes accountability behind the dish. 2-2 count now. But what an emphatic strike call. And now, as in the confusion, Wilson going to step off the mound. Take a moment for himself here in the bottom of the fourth. Marco VC at the dish, 2-2 count. Wilson gets set and now comes home with it. That one's popped up on the infield. Getting to it is shortstop Lavrich. Calls everyone off and makes the catch. So another impressive inning for Wilson, allows 1 run, but we are through 4 innings. The Mustangs 4, Bulldogs 2. Back here in East Butler, top of the 5th inning, Kenny Lavrich, the shortstop, leads it off. First pitch is down low and outside, ball 1. And we are underway in the 5th. So starting to get dark now. Temperatures starting to drop after a hot day. Saw temperatures as high as the 90s. 1-0 pitch from the hard-throwing lefty is down in the dirt. Fastball, 2-0. Lavrich, the shortstop, singled today. Scored on a walk his first time around. Swing and a miss. And the count goes to 2-1. Top of the 5th inning, Mustangs with a 4-2 lead. Lavrich at the dish. New pitcher on the mound also for the Bulldogs as here comes the 2-1. It's down the dirt, 3-1. New pitcher Andrew Catch, left-handed pitcher, comes on in relief. So the final line for Kersher, 4 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, and 4 earned for the righty. Three-one pitch, called, strike 2. And another hard fastball. Now, we don't have the velos here. We might have them when we're at home, yet to be seen. But that one was hard. You didn't need the radar gun to tell. The full count pitch outside, so he walks him. So Lavrich reaches for the 3rd time in 3 at-bats and a good start to his season. So 2 singles and a walk. Earlier mentioned that it was a single the first time around. Not so. It was 2, or I mentioned it was a walk the first time around. Not so. 2 singles and now the walk. And a quick turnaround coming to the dish. Braden Marcellus, the 3rd baseman, takes strike 1 on another hard fastball. So fastball heavy so far for Andrew Catch, the left-handed pitcher. And Braden Marcellus at the dish for the Mustangs. The pitch fouled off. Tipped right back beyond. And the count goes to 1-1. All even. Just about to be 8:40 here in the top of the 5th inning, so moving along at a pretty steady pace. That one grounded to 3rd baseman Mellogran, and he drops the ball. Nico Mellogran drops it at 3rd base, and so an E5, you can score that in your book, and now 2 runners on, nobody out, and looks like it might be another chance to get some runs across as Mason Bevan comes to the plate for the Mustangs. And Bevan, one of the few left-handed hitters really in this entire game. Not many have come up so far. The first pitch, 25-25, called for a strike. Oh, 1 to Bevan. Top of the 5th inning. In East Butler. The pitch down low in the dirt. 1-1. Bevan up for the 3rd time as well. First 2 times around. Grounded out to first base. And walked. Swing and a miss. And looked like the bat caught the catcher on the way back. Few questions asked to him by the umpire. He says he's okay. 2 strikes on Bevan, and the at-bat will resume. And now the base umpire, Fred Orozco, comes to the mound, checking on it briefly. So a lot of weird, wacky stuff so far on our first telecast of the season. Mason Bevan at the plate for the 3rd time, the first baseman. Lefty on lefty, Andrew Catch on the mound, delivers a hard fastball down. Now the count is full. 3-2, Bevan at the dish. Runners on 1st and 2nd, no outs in the top of the 5th. Bevan, that closed stance, swing and a miss, so he strikes out, and it's a hard fastball. So runners remain on 1st and 2nd, but 1 out now. And Brian Feldman, the right fielder, comes to the dish. Feldman wearing number 7. Top of the 5th inning, 1 out. New pitcher on the mound if you're just joining us for the East Butler Bulldogs. The first pitch from Catch is lined into right field. That one's going to get over the head of the second baseman, Falk, picked up by VC, but it's going to be Lavrich who goes all the way home and makes the turn. It looked like Butler didn't know it. Looked like the play was over, but a run scores. So now runners at first and second, it remains the same, but we see Marcellus advance and Lavrich, the tall, lanky shortstop, go all the way home, uses his speed, and makes this a 5-2 ball game. Really nice use of the opposite field there on the first pitch he saw. And now a bunt, he misses it, goes way high, and still attempts at it, and that's Siegel now. But so a hit to right field, goes for a single, advances Marcellus to second. Bevan has struck out, and now Feldman on first as the designated hitter Josh Siegel is down 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Catch, and that one's bounced on the ground through the middle of the infield and past the glove of Falk. Coming around third is Marcellus. He will score. The ball's dropped, throw down to second, and it's into center field. So several miscommunications. A run scores. Marcellus all the way around from second. Feldman goes to second, and Siegel bounces one through, just gets it straight up the middle. A real hitter's hit. Runners on first and second, still 1 out, and it's a 6-2 game. Really the first time we've seen the Mustangs take advantage of everything. So quickly, Cole Grabble fouls one off, but 2 more runs in this inning, and Catch throws hard, but he's getting hit hard too. That one, not so much, really just a bouncer through the middle of the infield, but before, a line drive into right field from Feldman. 0-1 to Grabble. Catch on the mound delivers. Strike called, 1-1, or 0-2 rather. Top of the 5th inning in East Butler. Cole Grabble at the plate for the Mustangs, who lead 6-2. Strike called, so he strikes out looking. Grabble heads back to the bench with 2 outs. Second strikeout for the hard-throwing lefty. And Zach Stridiff, the catcher, back to the plate for his 3rd appearance. He struck out twice today, so looking to avoid the hat trick in the top of the 5th. 2 outs in the inning, runners on first and second for the Mustangs. First pitch is fouled off down the right field line. Calls of watch out, 0-1. The count. Andrew Catch on the mound, the left-hander. Delivers a ball outside, and dancing off the second base bag is Feldman, trying to play some mind games and maybe rattle Catch a bit. Catch has been filling up the strike zone for the most part, just got hit hard, tagged for 2 earned runs here in the 5th inning. The pitch in the dirt. So the commentator's curse comes true fairly quickly. We say he's filling up the strike zone, and he delivers one down low. 1-2 count to the catcher, Stridiff. On deck, the extra hitter, John Sharp. Sharp been very productive today, getting on base both times. 1 RBI for the extra hitter. But Stridiff right now with 2 outs, trying to put a ball in play and score 1 more here. Delivers from Catch way up high. Breaking pitch just slipped out of his fingers early. Catch wears number 25 out on the mound. As we mentioned, it was a hot day, so the ball is flying, certainly. We are up on a little hill here, so a little bit of elevation. That one fouled off again, keeps it at 2 strikes. And sends the ball right on back to the pitcher, Catch. 6-2 in the 5th. Mustangs on top in their opening day matchup. Both these teams playing their first game on the first day of the Rust Belt League schedule. A doubleheader tomorrow, 2 at Allegheny College. We'll get underway at 12 for that broadcast. Foul back keeps it alive, so one of the first battles we've seen between pitcher and hitter this afternoon, or as we get into the early part of the evening, or the later part of the evening, but the early part of dusk and closer to sunset. The light's really starting to take effect for the first time now. 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Ball down low, 2-2, and or rather he walks him there. My mistake, and not a fault of the umpire this time around. So a walk to stride if he's going to head to first, and John Sharp comes to the plate. So the bases are loaded for the Mustangs. 2 outs in the inning, and the number 10 hitter, number 11, John Sharp, has gone on base twice today, comes to the dish looking to do some damage. The 8th runner to come, or the 8th hitter to come to the plate in this inning. He drives one down the right field line and foul. Just hooks around the corner. 2 outs, bases loaded, top of the 5th. 6-2 in favor of the Mustangs, bases loaded. New pitcher on the mound for Andrew Catch, already allowed 2 runs in the inning. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Evens it up at 1-1 on the fastball. Encouragement from manager Cosby down the third baseline. Tells him to come on, you got this. Sharp steps out. And the extra hitter comes back into the right-handed batter's box. Catch ready to go. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. And he sets him down. So the Mustangs only able to plate 2. They leave the bases loaded. We're through 4.5 here in East Butler. Back here in the bottom of the 5th in East Butler, and a new pitcher on the mound for the Mustangs. First pitch called strike. Brendan Corloy, the shortstop, up to start this inning. The 0-1 called for a strike, filling up that strike zone early on here in the bottom of the inning. 6-2 Mustangs lead, and they're on defense right now. Bottom of the 5th, Corloy in his 3rd at-bat. He's grounded out and flown out today. Ball outside, 1-2. Put it right where he wanted. Gets a nod from his catcher. Heads back to the mound. So Wilson in the inning. Finishes with 4. Allows 2 runs. The 1-2 is fouled back. 2 runs and just 2 hits as well, or just 1 hit rather, but 2 runs score and both earned off of the walks. So struggled with control, ends up with 6 of them, but a few strikeouts as well. Here's the 1-2. Reaches back and leaves it up. So a ball to Corloy. 2-2 count. Counts even. Taps the bat and gets ready to go. 2-2 pitch. Down low. Full count. So Knapp now comes in to pitch, and it took us a minute for them to send us the name of the pitcher, but the full count pitch is fouled off, and it is Garrett Knapp who takes over on the mound. Right-handed pitcher comes on in relief of Zach Wilson, and he's got a full count to deal with for his first batter, Brendan Corloy. The pitch, driven out to left field, going opposite way. It's Weibel coming in, who makes the catch. So 1 out in the inning on the fly out to left field, and a pretty routine start after the 3-2 count. Chris Mullins, designated hitter, up next. And Mullins, he's been walked every time, so he hasn't need to take the bat off his shoulders just yet. Maybe that will change this time around with a new pitcher on the mound. Knapp going to step off first, though. Retakes the rubber. Bottom of the 5th inning. In East Butler, here's the pitch. Looked like it was right over the plate. Called for a ball. 1-0. And it's the designated hitter, Chris Mullins, who comes up here in the bottom of the 5th. We will be playing 9-inning games. 1-0 pitch. Almost gets a piece of him. Called for ball 2. 2-0. Mullins, the designated hitter, walked twice today. Has another hitter's count, and now it's 3-0, so he's right where he likes to be. We know that he's been in this situation before, controlling the count, and gets a lot of balls. Guys may be afraid to pitch to the big righty. 3-0 pitch. Fastball down the middle, called for a strike. Bottom of the 5th inning here in East Butler. The first game ever for the Meadville Mustangs and the East Butler Bulldogs. 3-1 pitch is in the dirt. So he walks for a 3rd time, and to nobody's surprise, he's on board once again. So the first walk that Knapp has issued after getting the fly out, and Tommaso Floro, the first baseman, comes to the dish. Time called. And it's going to be a pinch runner, it appears, for the Bulldogs. So coming on to run is Connor. Technical difficulties have persisted, but a runner scores on the hit, and So 2 runners score. It's a 6-4 game. 28. Tommaso Floro scores all the way from first. Chris Mullins scores. So, just to catch you up on what briefly happened while we were away. Floro gets on base on a single. And then Mellengren doubles to bring them both home. So, now things getting close again. First pitch is a called strike to Jake Baumgartel. The 0-1. Down in the dirt. Called ball. So 1-1 count. All even up. Still only 1 out. 6-4 the score in the bottom of the 5th. So 2 runners score on the double from Mellengren. Drove 1 out into right field. Gets it out there, Oppo. That pitch called for a ball. And now just 1 runner on second. With 1 away in the inning. Swing and a miss. Gets him to pass at it. Baumgartel also has walked twice today, and although we weren't on air briefly, Mellengren also hit by pitch and walked today. So a lot of guys who haven't had to take the bat off their shoulder. He's going to walk again. Runners on first and second. 1 out. And A.J. Kujar comes to the dish. .857 in East Butler. 6-4 score. Garrett Knapp struggling in his first inning of work. Throws a ball down low outside. 1-0 the count. Kujar been manning that spot back behind the dish all night long and doing a decent job of it. 1 passed ball, but really more of a wild pitch, actually, and that was what it was officially scored as. 2-0 on the ball outside. Knapp just hasn't been able to get a grip on his control here. Did get the 1 out on the fly out. Looked like he was going to start strong, but then struggled since then. The pitch. Strike called on the 2-0. Looked like a breaking ball drifting in there. So we're coming up on 2 hours in tonight's contest here in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch. That one up the middle, off the glove, and it takes a weird hop off the shortstop's glove. That's Lavrich. It gets into center field. Fielding it is Weibel, the left fielder. It's a double, and a run scores. So Mellengren all the way around to make this a 1-run game, 6-5 in the bottom of the 5th. And you can't really score that an error. The ball just kind of kicks up off the end of that grass into center field. So 3 runs now in the inning, and a mound visit from head coach Ben Cosby. So a double right there. Baumgartel on to second base. And the single from A.J. Kujar. Baumgartel reached on a walk. And it's 6-5. So now a little bit of damage control. You only have 1 out in the inning. Runners on first and second. And you got to make sure you don't give up this lead here after you started off the game quite strong. Mustangs manager Ben Cosby having a conversation with home plate umpire Lou Stahl. And we'll get underway again. So Knapp trying to get out of it. Evan Kersher back to the dish. Designated hitter. The first pitch. Outside, ball 1. 1-0. Runners on first and second in East Butler, bottom of the 5th inning. Hits him. Gets him with a breaking ball on the left elbow. Sends him down to first, and the bases are loaded with 1 out. So hoping and praying for a double play here in this situation. And he's got the 9-hitter, Sean Dewey, the center fielder, at the dish. Dewey so far, a walk and reaching on an error, fouls one off to start the at-bat. Tosses that bat up and catches it quickly, gets right back in there. 1 out, runners on all 3 bases. Got them loaded up. Mustangs pitcher on the bump is Garrett Knapp, number 22 in red. Gets set, comes home with it. Ball 2. Just outside. Dewey looks out. 2-0 pitch called for a strike. Fastball. Kind of a get-me-over one there. Trying to reel back in that control after a walk and a hit batter in the last 3. Here comes the 2-1. Up high, breaking ball, 3-1, and now in danger of walking in the tying run. Both the tying and go-ahead run in scoring position in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the pitch. That one right up the middle, fielded by Lavrich. Lavrich picks it up, tags the runner at second, gets him out. So 1 out recorded on the play. The runner from third, Baumgartel, will score. Every other runner advances, and it's Kersher who's out at second. So 2 outs in the inning, but we are all tied up in the bottom of the 5th. Kujar moves up to third. It's a 6-6 game. Time called as Peyton Folk comes up to the plate. First pitch called as a ball. 6-6 now in the bottom of the 5th. Peyton Folk rather. Sean Dewey just with the fielder's choice. Strike called. 1-1 to the 9th hitter of the inning, and now in danger of batting around. Folk takes strike 2. So the count is even. Peyton Folk, second baseman, number 7 in orange. The wind and the pitch. Grounded on, over to Lavrich. Fields throws on to first, gets the out. So gets out of it and keeps it tied. We're through 5 in East Butler, all tied at 6. Top of the 6th inning in East Butler, all tied up at 6. And see, where the managers are having a little bit of a conversation as the first pitch from Catch is up high and wide for a ball. There is no scoreboard in East Butler, and sometimes that's what you work with, but there has been confusion on both sides about what inning it is. So you, of course, can see the scoreboard at home, but we're in the top of the 6th here. Ball 2 down low, fastball, and Suvak at the top of the order nods back to his guys approvingly in the dugout. So all tied up at 6. Meadville had a 4-run lead, gave it up in the last inning after bringing in relief pitcher Garrett Knapp. Suvak, the center fielder, up for the 4th time today. Swing and a miss on the 2-0 pitch. Says a quick word to home plate umpire Stahl. 2-1. Back on the mound for a second inning is Andrew Catch. Fastball down the middle, swing and a miss. 2-2, so gets it back to even after going down in the count. And now Suvak got to sit back and protect. Here it comes. Popped up on the infield. Way above the view of the press box, over into right field, a foul ball. Yells of make a play. Climb the fence from the East Butler Bulldogs dugout. So a tie game. It's real close here in Western Pennsylvania, but everyone having fun nonetheless. And, of course, that's what it's about at the end of the day. Suvak gets set, looks toward the pitcher's mound, and now here comes the pitch. Doesn't go. Holds it up. Full count and a long at-bat, making him throw some pitches out of the bullpen. No one warming in either side right now, or on either side. 3-2 to the center fielder, number 12. Crowds the plate. Here it comes. Up high. Walks him. So Suvak gets aboard to start the inning, and Carson Weibel now will come up to follow him, but a leadoff base runner, and Meadville trying to get right back into this game. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Weibel got on base last time he was up. Flied out and struck out his other 2 times. This time takes a hack and a miss. Strike 1 on the big right-hander. Weibel out in left field today. And the ball does take some pretty big hops. The grass largely dead as strike 2 is called on the outside corner. But the ball's taking some big hops out in the outfield today. A lot of the grass in left field, as you can probably see under the lights, is slightly dead, so a little bit hard. Catch steps off briefly. Top of the 6th inning. No outs, runner on first. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He goes back down. So another strikeout for Weibel, his second of the day. This time swinging. And 1 out in the inning. Still a runner at first. Kenny Lavrich scored twice today. Been one of the most productive hitters. Gotten on base all 3 times. Gonna try and do it again here from the shortstop position. Strike called. Or ball, rather. Pitch looked like it was over the plate, but no call. 1-0. Here it comes. Runner goes for second. Throw down is low and short. No call from the ump, and he calls safe in a cloud of dust that springs up from the ground. So a stolen base for the speedy center fielder, Suvak. He gets down to second. And timeout called now as the catcher, Kuzier, goes out to talk to his left-hander. The only southpaw we've seen so far in Game 1 of the season. Lavrich steps back in for the Mustangs. Here's the pitch. Up high, ball. Andrew Catch still on the mound. Throws hard, but he's been hit hard so far. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Lavrich can't catch up to it. And as we mentioned, the hard stuff coming out of that 3/4 arm slot on the mound. 1 out, runner on second. He takes off for third. Swing and a miss. Throw down to third is wide of the bag, and gloving it somehow is Melogran. So the runner is safe, but the strikeout, and Lavrich fails to get on base for the first time today. Back-to-back strikeouts for Catch. So runner on third, 2 outs, and Braden Marcellus, the third baseman, going to need a hit. Marcellus at the dish. The first pitch takes it inside, ball 1. 2 outs in the inning, runner on third. 1 ball and no strikes to the hitter Marcellus. Here's the 1-0, swing and a miss. Count even up at 1. Marcellus takes a moment, looks back out towards the mound. Catch comes home with it, ball up high. 2-1 the count. And just over 2 hours and 10 minutes played now in East Butler, game 1 of the season. And we want to remind you once again, a doubleheader tomorrow at Allegheny College. So the Mustangs travel the hour back home north as a ball is called, 3-1. And they will have a doubleheader tomorrow. So game 2 and 3 of the season. Game 1 gets underway at noon. Slated to be another beautiful day, and thunderstorms in the area today, but fortunately nothing for us. And strike called. Looked low and outside, and kind of a disgruntled look from Marcellus. Full count. Andrew Catch on the mound, winds and delivers. Ball 4. So he bat flips the walk, heads down in the second walk of the inning. So only walks and strikeouts so far. Runners on first and third. Mason Bevan has the chance to break this tie. And Bevan so far 0 for 2 on the day. He walked in the first inning and then grounded out to the first baseman. Struck out swinging his last time around. First pitch is in the dirt. Thought about it, was Suvak at third, but thinks better of it. Doesn't want to make the final out on the base paths and heads back to third. Bevan, the slugger, has a good connection with his grandfather. Said he always told him to be a hitter. That's something he thinks about every single time he steps in the box. Good time to think about it will be right now. Ball outside to the big left-hander. Left on left here in East Butler Speedo Field. 6-6 game tied in the 6th inning. That one inside, and now Suvak coming home, races towards the plate. The throw is late. He's safe. Meadville retakes the lead, so runners on second. And on the wild pitch, it's 7-6 in favor of the Mustangs. Not the way you want to give up the lead, but you get a runner to second, retake the lead with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. And now Bevan has another runner in scoring position, a chance to give the Mustangs a 2-run lead with a hit here. Here's the pitch. Ball down low in the dirt, and Marcellus going to advance to third. The walk. And Folk smartly covers second base. Bevan was moving. So back-to-back walks, third walk of the inning. Runners on first and third. And Brian Feldman, singled last time up, comes to the dish. hitting for the second time in 2 innings. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. 7-6 lead for the Mustangs. Insurance run on third base. First pitch called for a ball. Outside and high to the right-handed hitter. Sixth inning. Here it comes. Breaking pitch up high. 2-0. Two outs. Looking for another run are the Mustangs. Runners on first and third. Here's the pitch. Called strike 1. Loudly and emphatically from Lou Stahl. Here's the pitch. That one's drilled down the left field line and towards the bullpen, where another reliever, Shane Thompson, warming for the Bulldogs. So foul ball there, and the at-bat continues. Here it comes. Drilled out to right field. Coming onto it is VC. He makes the catch, so they get out of the inning with only 1 run allowed, but Meadville retakes the lead 7-6 after 5.5. Back for the bottom of the 6th on the Mustangs Baseball Network. First pitch to Marco Vici's driven to left field, back towards the wall, and making the catch is Carson Weibel, the left fielder, and a quick out for Knapp, and very similar to how he started the first time, or the beginning of the last inning, rather, with a fly out to left field. So a little bit of a delay in between innings. Not entirely clear what the managers are trying to figure out, but they've had multiple conversations with the umpires in between the last few innings. Bunt down the third baseline this time from Corloy. Throw on to first. And it looks like he is out. He is. They finally make the call. A bit of a delayed call. So it goes 5-3. Good throw. And 2 pitches, 2 outs. Working efficiently here in the bottom of the 6th. Chris Mullins, the designated hitter, back up for his 4th at-bat. Walked twice, walked a 3rd time in his last at-bat, and scored. Knapp, the first pitch, called for a strike. 2 quick outs in the bottom of the 6th. From East Butler. Here's the pitch from Knapp. Ball down low. Just past 9:20, sun has begun and completed its set as that one's inside, almost gets a piece of him. Here comes the pitch from Knapp. Breaking ball inside 3. Balls now to the designated hitter number 9, Chris Mullins. Mullins on base all 3 times, but 0 for 0 on the day. Knapp's pitch down low in the dirt, walks him. So another walk, and nothing but walks today so far for Mullins. So after getting 2 outs on 2 pitches, he walks a batter, sends him to first, and Tommaso Floro comes to the dish. Timeout called. And it's a pinch runner over at first for Mullins. And we don't get an announcement on the name here. So we'll have to wait and see when he comes around to second base. Tommaso Floro drives one into center field. Moving on to it is Suvak, calls everyone off, makes the catch. So a quick, efficient inning, 1 walk, but that's all Mullins does. 7-6 after 6 in East Butler. Top of the 7th inning, the final third of the opening day game, and it's a new pitcher on the mound for the East Butler Bulldogs, Shane Thompson, who we saw warming up in the bullpen. Another left-handed pitcher coming on for the Bulldogs, and he's going to face the designated hitter Josh Siegel from the right side to start the 7th inning. First pitch at the top of the 7th, a pie fastball called for ball 1. 1-0. Siegel singled his last time up, scored in the 4th inning. 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed. 1-1. Butler Blue Sox got out to an early lead tonight. Swing and a miss, 1-2, and the only other game just going on about 8 minutes down the road to our west in Butler. Meadville will see them in just a few weeks when we come right back down here. 1-2 count to Bevan. Strike 3 called. And it's the second time Bevan has struck out looking today. Second time he's done it to make the first out. Last time was in the second inning. So Cole Grabble comes to the plate with 1 out in the inning. Meadville holds a 1-run lead in the 7th. Thompson sets and delivers. Strike called. Thompson in the strike zone early. And the Bulldogs need an efficient inning. They've only held the Mustangs scoreless in the 2nd inning today. At least 1 run in every other inning so far, and certainly not a recipe for success. That one fouled off. So 0-2 count. And attacking the strike zone has to be a focal point, being emphasized in the dugout to our left. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. Stays 0-2. Thompson may be brought on at this point to do exactly that, try and get in that strike zone a little bit more. Walks have definitely been an issue for both teams to this point. Thompson gets the pitch he wants, now comes home. Swing and a miss. So 2 strikeouts. That one tries to hold up, but he can't. And the catcher, Zach Strideff, comes to the dish with 2 away. So the number 9 hitter trying to start a rally and avoid the 2nd inning, which, from a manager's perspective, I'm sure you're very happy with, in which they don't score. Zach Strideff at the plate, swing and a miss for the first strike. Shane Thompson filling up the strike zone, doing it efficiently, and don't want to use up your bullpen too much. The starter, Evan Kirscher, only went 4 innings. Curveball slips out of his hand, 1-1, and the first one to not be a strike. Kind of just loops in there, about head level of the umpire. No chance you're hitting one like that. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2. And in danger of going or retiring the side on strikeouts. 1-2. Standing calmly at the mound. Now he comes home. Ball outside. Evens up the count. 2-2. Top of the 7th. 2 outs. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 strikeouts. It's the magic number in the 7th inning. Shane Thompson delivers. Ball outside. Full count. So a chance to break it up here for the catcher, Strideff. John Sharp, extra hitter, struck out twice and, or rather, singled, walked, and scored twice so far. So a productive day for him, and it is going to be a walk to Strideff. So Sharp will get a chance. Runner on first base, and the extra hitter gets another shot to drive a run across. 2 outs, 7-6 in the 7th inning. So 2 strikeouts and now a walk for Thompson. And now he pitches from the stretch. First pitcher we've seen all day to pitch out of the windup and the stretch. Brings that foot forward. Now he comes home with it and fouled off back against the backstop. Kuzier looks toward home plate umpire Lou Stahl and gets a new ball. The payoff pitch up high. Thrown down to first, and not the payoff pitch at all. The first pitch, rather, excuse me, to John Sharp. Called for a ball, throw down from the catcher. On the pickoff, he's safe, so we continue play. 1-0. Thompson winds and delivers. Ball 2 up high. 2-0 count. So now after that early attacking of the zone, a little bit of struggles for the lefty. Looks home, looks the runner back, and comes home. Hooked down the left field line and into the trees. I don't think we'll be seeing that one again in play tonight. 2-1 the count to the extra hitter. Sharp looks toward the pitcher. Here comes the 2-1. Fouls it back off the netting, and it bounces right back in front of him on the chalk line, just outside the end of that turf circle there. Or the turf batter's boxes, rather. 2-2. Ball 3 called. Full count. And now this time it will be the payoff pitch. Full count to Sharp. He's been on base twice today, and he's going to get on again. Another walk, back-to-back walks. Strygriff reaches, heads to second. And on the full count pitch after being 2-2, walks him, and we go back to the top of the order. Jordan Suvak scored last time around. He's got a single today. Shane Thompson, first pitch, delivers outside and high. 1-0. Top of the 7th inning here, and if you remember, think back to just a few moments ago. 2 quick strikeouts to start this inning. And now back-to-back walks. Swing and a miss. All evened up at 1. One ball, 1 strike. Runners on first and second. Shane Thompson, the new pitcher this inning, on the mound for the East Butler Bulldogs. He delivers. Swing and a miss. 1-2 to the center fielder. A good crowd amassed here in East Butler for opening day, especially for the amount of seats. One of the smallest stadiums we have in the league. Ball outside, 2-2 count. But a lot of people here supporting their family members. Other people here to watch some fun baseball in East Butler. Now, of course, if you head down to Butler's slightly bigger stadium, swing and a miss. Ends the inning, so Jordan Suvak strikes out. We'll stretch here in East Butler. Mustangs have a 1-run lead, 7-6, going to the bottom of the 7th. Well, we hope you were singing along to the 7th inning stretch at home. Back here for the bottom of the 7th, Nico Mellogren leading off the inning. The first pitch fouled off down the right field line and out of play. Called very audibly by Strideff. Mellogren walked, hit by pitch, and scored today. Garrett Knapp out there for another inning. Delivers, swinging and a miss, 0-2. (7-6). Meadville still holds a 1-run advantage. Bulldogs have a few more innings, 3 exactly, being the home team to get it back. Knapp struck him out. Changeup or slider, either one gets him, sends him back to the bench. So 1 out in the inning, a 3-pitch strikeout. And Baumgartel comes to the dish, scored 2 innings ago in the 5th. First pitch called for a strike. So Knapp, after struggling with some walks, really attacking the zone. And a quick inning last time around. Here's the 0-1. Strike 2. 0-2 count. Gets right back in the driver's seat from the mound. Baumgartel, left fielder. On base every time today. Here's the 0-2. Down low. Ball 1. 1-2 to the left fielder. Knapp sets and delivers. Fastball outside. 2-2. Counts even to the outfielder. Wearing number 17 and wearing that Evo Shield shin guard to protect himself. 2-2 pitch comes in. That one driven out to center field. Moving on to it is Suvak and calls him off, makes the catch. So 2 up and 2 down for Knapp in the bottom of the 7th. AJ Kujar comes to the plate, the catcher. Kujar trying to break up the 1-2-3 inning that Knapp has on the table here. The first pitch, grounded down the third base line, moving back on it, takes a hop off the bag. Is Marcellus, throw over, just not in time, and looked like the base really kind of killed the momentum of that ball, so it'll be ruled a single and a base runner. Kujar on singles for the second straight at bat, and now the designated hitter, Evan Kirscher, on to hit. Number 10 has been hit by a pitch and walked today. Here's the first pitch. Grounded down the third base line. Takes a big hop off the end of the grass. Marcellus throws on to first, and the runner is safe. So runners on first and second. Another single. 2 down to the hot corner and 2 singles. So good running from the Mustangs. And Marcellus did fumble around with that one for just a minute, but not enough to be an error. The throw was on point. And runners on first and second for the number 9 hitter, Sean Dewey. Got the rolled up pants. He grounds another one to third, and this time he can just step right on the base. So 3 straight ground balls to third, no runs to show for it. The Bulldogs leave 2 on. We're through 7, 7-6 in favor of the Mustangs. Top of the 8th on the Mustangs Baseball Network. Welcome back. Luke Burgess along with you, and we thank you for joining us on this early June evening. Hottest day of the year in western Pennsylvania. 91 degrees the high today, but now it has cooled down. The skies are dark, the lights are on, and Carson Weibel up for his 5th plate appearance of the evening. First pitch, swing and a miss, and right back to it, Shane Thompson in his 2nd inning of work, still throwing hard, the left-hander. 0-1 to the outfielder. Pitch number 2, down low and catches the outside corner. 0-2. 9:40 local time. Sun just going down less than an hour ago. It gets dark pretty late these days. That one a ball down low. 1-2 count, top of the 8th inning. Here comes the pitch. Looping breaking ball just misses the zone. Looked like it caught the same edge that second strike called, but caught rather, but 2-2 count. Thompson still on the bump. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. He set him down. So the strikeout from Thompson. And after 3 strikeouts in his 1st inning of work, that is his 4th. So every out so far on the K. 1 looking, 2 swinging, and now Kenny Lavrich comes back up to the dish for his 5th plate appearance. Swing and a miss, right back to it. That one with the breaking ball, really good pitch mix so far. Thompson been very effective out of the bullpen for the Bulldogs. Just getting ahead in the count is huge. 0-1, swing and a miss. So you've seen it before, and you see it again. 0-2 count to Lavrich. And potential for Thompson to get his 5th strikeout in 5 outs. Lavrich looks toward the mound. Thompson winds and delivers, and he's going to line one out to center field. Getting back on it is Dewey, and he makes the catch. So the strikeout streak does not continue, but the out streak does. 3 straight retired for Thompson. On the fly out to center field, Braden Marcellus now to the dish, looking to break it up a little bit and get a runner on base. Number 31 in red. 2 outs in the inning. The first pitch is fouled off. Right-hander in a gold helmet, white batting gloves, and the black New Balance shoes. Tools the bat once, and he's ready to go. 7-6 still here, 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning. That one lined into center field. It's gonna... Oh, what a catch! Sean Dewey in center field lays out and grabs it on the uneven ground, goes up for the jump and celebrates with his teammates. The highlight reel play of today's game to end the top of the 8th inning. We're through 7.5, and what a play to end it. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th here on the Mustangs Baseball Network. Back with you on the Mustangs Baseball Network. And a pinch hitter to announce hitting in the 10 hole. And as soon as they get it up to us, it's Tristan Kenzovich. So Tristan Kenzovich gets his first at-bat in the 10 hole. The first pitch from a new pitcher for the Mustangs, Ty Hopkins, goes high. So 1-0 the count to the pinch hitter. And the Bulldogs looking to get a run to tie this one up. The 1-0 swung on and missed. Fastball away. Evens it up from Hopkins. Kenzovich, left-handed batter, comes on for the first time. Generally plays in the outfield. We'll see if he stays on. Swings and misses at that pitch. So 1-2. Hopkins gets set, works quickly, looks for the pitch he wants, and now delivers. Fouled off. Stays 1-2. Snagged off the bottom of the ground by Strideff. And thrown back to Hopkins. Infield playing straight up here, as they have most of the game. Saw a little bit of shifting for some of our left-handed batters. 1-2 pitch from Hopkins. Here it comes. Comes inside. 2-2. Evens up the count. Bottom of the 8th inning. Mustangs with a 1-run lead. Hopkins trying to close this one out. He would be eligible for the 6-out save if he was left in the game for the 9th. Pitch on the outside corner. It's called for ball 4, so a walk. And a leadoff walk. Never a good sight to see from the bench. So Kenzovich heads down to first. And it's Marco Visi. Up high, takes. One-0 count. Runner on first. No outs in the bottom of the 8th. Here comes the pitch from Hopkins. Down low. 2-0. Mustangs still holding on to that 1-run lead late in the game. Here comes the 2-0. Hopkins looks the runner back to first. Out of the stretch. Here's the pitch. Grounded up the middle. That one's going to sneak through all the way into center field for Suvak. He throws it in. It's runners at first and second with nobody out. Hard hit ball. Used the fastball trying to get the out. And Brendan Corley comes back to the dish. Grounded out to third base his last time up. The 0-0 pitch inside, down low, and a big, big lead on second for Kenzovich. Scampers back to first base after the pitch. The 1-0 from Hopkins. Outside, 2-0. Runners on first and second, no outs in the bottom of the 8th. That's that tying run on second and the go-ahead run on first. So you know that Corley knows that he's got a big spot here. Here's the 2-0. Strike called. Breaking ball just catches the bottom of the zone. 2-1 count. Hopkins comes set, now delivers. Ground to the third base. That one's hard hit through the infield, and holding up at third is the runner, Kenzovich. So bases juiced nobody out, and a little bit of a disaster brewing here. No runs yet, but you got to be worried with the bases loaded. So a walk and then 2 singles, and now Chris Mullins, the designated hitter, comes to the plate. Try and find a way to settle down your reliever out there late in the game, but with the bases loaded, not an easy task by any means. So pressure situation, designated hitter at the plate. He's walked every single time today. So he's taken patient at-bats. We'll see if they can generate a different result. The first pitch in that attempt is called for a strike, 0-1. Nothing and 1 to the 6-3 right-handed batter. Hopkins sets up out of the windup. Now comes home. Ball down low, slider away. Can't catch that outside corner that it looked like he was going for. 1-1 all even. Speedo Field, the site of our games, 365 to center. No one tested that center field wall just yet. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Hopkins gets in the driver's seat. 1-2 count. No outs in the inning. Bases loaded. And the Bulldogs down by just 1. Tying run on third and the go-ahead run in scoring position at second. Here it comes. Grounded foul. Chopper just by the outside of the Bulldog dugout and trickles down the side of the fencing. Third base coach gonna hang on to that one. Maybe shouts from the crowd that they want a souvenir. Count remains 1-2. Bases still loaded. Hopkins nods in agreement with his catcher. Comes home. Slider away. Called for ball 2. He's tried to catch that outside corner with the slider 2 times now. Has been unsuccessful, but big gap in left field right now. Left fielder Weibel playing very shaded. That one popped up in foul territory. Doesn't look like anyone's going to be able to get to it. Heads out of play. And onto the smaller fields at the East Butler Baseball Complex. Still 2-2. Bases loaded, no outs. Couple foul balls. Keeping Mullins in the at-bat, and he fouls balls off a lot. 2-2. That one ripped out to right field toward the wall. Chasing after it is Feldman. The runner's going to tag from third. Throw in is late, so the runner moves up to tie the game. So runners at the corners, 1 out, but a 7-7 tie in the 8th inning. A well-hit ball, and Feldman able to get over there. So VC goes to third. Dewey or Kensovich scores. And it's the Meadville product from Allegheny College, Tommaso Floro, the first baseman, with runners at the corners and 1 out. Hopkins out of the stretch. Gets set and delivers. Fastball inside. Called for a ball. 1 out in the inning now, all knotted at 7 if you're just joining us. Been a fun game. A lot of walks, a lot of base runners. We're just approaching the 3-hour mark now here on the Mustangs Baseball Network. The 1-0 from Hopkins. Outside slider. Called for a ball. 2-0. And Floro definitely conscious of not grounding into that double play here, and now probably wants to pick a spot and commit to it. 2-0 pitch. Looked like it caught a piece of the outside corner. Called for a ball. 3-0. Probably taking all the way here with the double play still a factor. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. It's bounced in the dirt. So the bases are reloaded. Force at any base. 1 out. And all tied up. Nico Mellogran now to the plate, third baseman. Struck out, hit by a pitch. First pitch called strike. Fastball down the middle, hard throwing. Maybe the hardest we've seen all night. 0-1. Here it comes. Breaking pitch outside once again. Been consistent, that slider. Just trailing away from the hitter, but they've been able to lay off of it just a bit too easily, which has caused them to just fastball hunt when they're up there. Here comes the 1-1. Ripped back off the outside of our perch, and we're thankful for the chain link fence on that one. Happy that we don't have the windows open, and not sure if that picked up on our cameras, but a rocket back off the fencing, and the count moves to 1-2. Hopkins shakes off the first pitch, looks toward the batter, and he steps off. So we're going to go through the pitches again. Bases loaded, big moment here. 1-2, the count. Bottom of the 8th inning. Tie game. Sets and delivers. Struck him out. Big time strikeout for Hopkins. Sends him back to the bench in a crucial moment. And now they need a hit if they want to score. So after a walk and a couple hits, the second out of the inning comes in the form of a strikeout, and Jake Baumgartel, the left fielder, comes to the plate in a big moment in this game. First pitch, fastball up high, 1-0. And it's a miscommunication, steals home. On the throw back, it was Marco Visi running on first throw back from the catcher and a lob throw, and he steals home to take the lead. The East Butler Bulldogs up 8-7. And now it's going to be a crucial top of the 9th. Have to score if they want to keep it alive, but got to get out of this one first. Pitch number 2 called for a strike, 1-1. So the runner off of third, he scores in the first run since the 6th inning, something we haven't seen a lot of. So high scoring. Called for a strike. Fastball up high. Called for a ball. Time called behind the plate by Stahl. Requested by Baumgartel. Takes a moment to step out. 2-1 count. Hopkins back ready to go. Slide step. Bounces one in the dirt. Maybe just trying to upset the timing here. That breaking ball hasn't been able to get it over the plate effectively. That time he does. So we've surpassed the 3-hour mark now in tonight's game. Opening day. 10:02 p.m. in East Butler. Hopkins gets the pitch and delivers. Swing and a miss. So he ends the inning. Only gives up 1, but that's all it took. Or gives up 2, rather. My mistake. Gives up 2, and the Bulldogs take the lead. We'll head to the 9th inning. Meadville needs a run to keep things going. Luke Burgess back with you on the Mustangs Baseball Network, and it's the top of the 9th inning in Game 1 here on opening day. Mason Bevan leading it off for the Mustangs, and they got to get a run here to keep this one going. Shane Thompson back on the bump for his 3rd inning of work, and he's been very efficient. So left on left to start here. Last time up, it was a walk for Bevan, but the first pitch is called for a strike. Shane Thompson has been pounding the zone with that hard fastball. He continues that there. This one's ripped into right field, back toward the wall, and gone! Mason Bevan ties it up with a home run to right field in the top of the 9th inning, and it's 8-8. Meadville keeps things going. The first home run of the season, and it belongs to Mason Bevan. Well, Bevan told us before the season started that he either strikes out or runs into one, and he ran into that one. All tied up. We will have a bottom of the 9th in East Butler. What a shot. And you can't see it on our camera. A bunt attempt goes foul for strike 1 from Brian Feldman, but that hit off the top of the pavilion in right field, where a couple fans are standing or have the option to stand. The first run allowed by Thompson after a shaky start from some of his other counterparts. He had been nails through 2 innings, and the first batter of the 9th, a different story. So Mason Bevan comes up in the clutch and ties this one up at 8. Ball up high. Makes it 2-1. Thompson winds and delivers. Check swing, and he went. 2 strikes on the hitter. Big time hitting for Bevan. And last time up, we talked about how his grandpa told him be a hitter. He was a hitter right there. Popped up on the infield. Trailing back is the second baseman. That's Falk, and a diving attempt from the right fielder doesn't get to it. He's out at second. So the ball falls in right field. Diving for it. Right fielder to right fielder. This time out there it's VC. He doesn't make the catch, but makes the throw into second, and Feldman is out. So makes the first out on the base paths after a single. And now it's Josh Siegel. 1 out in the inning. Thompson throws one down low. Ball 1. Second pitch is up high. 2-0. Two-0 pitch to the designated hitter. That one's bounced over to first base. High bounce, and it's picked up by Floro. He steps on to first, gets the out. 2 away in the top of the 9th. Cole Grabble now, the second baseman, looking to give the lead right back to the Mustangs here, but Thompson recovered very well from that left-on-left home run. The 0-0 pitch down low, fastball called for ball 1. One 0 count. Second one is ripped into center field. It's going to get down right in front of Dewey. He makes the throw in, and it's a single. Nice rip for Grabble, his second hit of the afternoon. And the Mustangs have the go-ahead run on with catcher Zach Strideff at the plate. Strideff walked twice today and struck out twice. This one's flown into center field, back towards the wall, approaching the wall. It's off the top of the wall. Rounding third base, coming home is Grabble. The throw in, he's safe. They don't even attempt one. The Mustangs take a 9-8 lead after going down in the bottom of the 8th, retake it in the top of the 9th, and they are back on top. It's a double for Zach Strideff. So a little bit of power being showcased here after a lot of looping line drives all throughout the evening. Now a home run and one off the top of that 20-foot wall in center field. John Sharp now has a runner on. (9-8), top of the 9th inning. The pitch fouled off. 1-1 count. 2 outs in the inning after the Strideff double off the top of that big wall, and you can see it out there in center field. 365 to that wall, so ball hit pretty far with the wood bat. That one looked like a changeup away. One of the first changeups we've seen tonight, swing and a miss, so 1-2 count, but the lead retaken, and a chance for a save or a win if they leave Hopkins on. Here's the pitch. Ball down low. Runner's going to advance to third on the wild pitch. 2-2 count. Strideff on third. And there's no doubt that the Mustangs would love that insurance run to come across. Their final time to the dish. Here's the 2-2 foul back over our heads and into the parking lot. Count remains at 2-2. Thompson on the mound for his third inning of work, and maybe just arm starts to get a little bit tired, throwing hard coming out of the bullpen. Here's the 2-2. That one's fouled off the plate. It's going to land in foul territory, bounce back, and he's safe at first. So the ball was hit straight down into the plate, had a lot of topspin, and you saw it land and just bounce backwards. So the runner stays put at third, and it's going to be ruled a single. And that single goes to John Sharp. So on base 4 times today. A really impressive debut game for the extra hitter, Jordan Suvak. Now the 7th player to come to the dish in this inning. Pickoff move to first. He's going to get back safely. Diving in. Oh, count runners on the corners. 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Shane Thompson, left-handed pitcher, gets set and delivers. Strike called. That one in there for the first pitch. 0-1 to the right-handed hitter, Suvak. Suvak scored today, struck out, singled as well. Comes set and delivers. Swing and a miss. 0-2. So right back to attacking the strike zone, and that's really been the key for Thompson. When he attacks the strike zone with his fastball, no one's been able to hit it. It's really those ones on the edges that have been pounded. Thompson shakes, then looks toward first, and maybe a potential balk there. Nothing called. Ball down low in the dirt. And the runner to second on the pitch in the dirt. So aggressive base running. Another key to success. One-two count. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 called. So the Mustangs retake the lead, but only get 1. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th. Meadville trying to close it out and gain their first win of the new season. Back for the bottom of the ninth in East Butler. The Meadville Mustangs up by 1, 9-8, trying to claim their first win of the season. And it's Ty Hopkins back on the mound, who is in line to get the win if he's able to finish this one off. And the first pitch of the inning is delivered to A.J. Crozier. Right-handed hitter has 2 singles in his last 2 at-bats. First pitch called strike. Second pitch down low. Ball 1. Bottom of the ninth inning. 1-1 count. Meadville with a 1-run lead. Here comes the 1-1. That one's driven out to center field. Going to get into the gap and get down. Fielded well by Suvak, but a single in the 3rd straight for the catcher, Crozier. So he's on base with the tying run. And you wonder now if Meadville gets the bullpen going at all, trying to stay out of extra innings. Evan Kirscher back to the plate for the Bulldogs. First pitch from Hopkins is swung on and driven to the right field, getting back towards the wall and off the wall. Fielded well. It's Feldman racing around second. The throw is dropped by the second baseman, Grabble, and all the way around to score. But held up at third. So it was almost Crozier coming around to score, but he holds up at third. So runners on first and third, the tying run. Kirscher rips a single into right field, doesn't advance to second, and now Dewey sends one through the middle of the infield, and that's going to tie this game. The winning run heading around second. The throw in is late, so first and second, the runner advances to second on the throw, and the winning run is on third base with no outs in the ninth. A double that just sneaks through the infield, and we saw a lot of those from Hopkins too, and now it looks like it might be the end of his night. Coach Cosby out on the mound, giving him a little bit of a lecture, telling him to settle down, get this game to extra innings. The only hope now for the Mustangs, with no outs, but 2 runners in scoring position, and it's Tristan Kenizvich that's up next. Came on as a pinch hitter last time, stayed in the game at second base. And now has the chance to be the walk-off hero if he can get bat on ball right here. Hopkins was throwing the ball hard in warm-ups in between innings, but the balls have been hit just as hard. And, you know, maybe without the infield drawn in on that last hit, the ball doesn't sneak through, but either way, the run probably scores there. They're going to intentionally walk Kenizvich. So bases loaded, gives them the force at any base, but it's the top of the order. Marco Visi scored 2 times, but he's flown out 3. So I'm playing the percentages here. Bases loaded, the winning run at third. The first pitch from Hopkins. Ball down low. No outs, so in need of a strikeout or pop-up on the infield to keep this game going. 1-0 pitch. Ball down low. 2-0. Bases juiced. Winning run 90 feet away. The Bulldogs looking to claim their first victory in their first game in history. Here's the pitch. Down low, 3-0, and now in danger of walking in that run, and you got to be in the strike zone here, and things looking increasingly bleak for the Mustangs here in the final waning moments, but still hope if they can get a ground ball in the infield, pop up, or a strikeout. Hopkins needs to get back in the zone. 3-0 pitch. Here it comes. Strike called. 3-1. Fastball down the middle and taking all the way, hoping for a walk-off walk potentially. VC. 3-1 pitch. Here it comes. That one driven into center field, back toward the wall, at the wall, and off the wall. It's going to be a win. 10-9 the final, walk it off. And VC singles to center field, bangs it off that massive wall out there. 10-9 is your final. So a tough ending, and Meadville fights all the way back, but just not enough in the final inning of play. They fall to 0-1 on the season. We'll wrap things up in just a minute when we return on the Mustangs Baseball Network. Back here with you on the Mustangs Baseball Network, Luke Burgess here along with you. And Meadville Mustangs fall in their first game of the season to the East Butler Bulldogs, and it was a flurry of late runs that changed this one around. So late on in the 8th inning, Meadville down by 1. 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th, led by a Mason Bevan home run to get them back in the lead, but then Ty Hopkins comes on and takes the loss in the bottom of the 9th after bases loaded, no outs, not able to get them out of it and send this game to extra innings. So 10-9 your final in game 1 of the season, but we'll be right back at it again tomorrow very, very quickly. Things, like as we said, quick turnaround for tomorrow. So 10-9 your final. The final tally for hits: 10 hits for the Bulldogs, and for the Mustangs, 15. So 15 hits for Meadville, 10 for the Bulldogs, but the Bulldogs one's just a little bit more meaningful in the end of it. We wrap this one up here tonight. Luke Burgess, thank you so much for joining us. The winning pitcher, Shane Thompson, grabs his first win of the season after pitching 2 beautiful scoreless innings and then giving up that that home run and RBI in the bottom of the 8th. The losing pitcher, Ty Hopkins, gives up 2 in the 9th to lose this one. So we'll be back again tomorrow, 12 p.m., noon Eastern. The Mustangs, their home opener. So we'll be thrilled if you can join us. It'll be a doubleheader. We'll have our second game kick off as soon as that first one finishes up. But as far as tonight, thank you for sticking with us through technical difficulties. Thank you for sticking with us the whole way through. Luke Burgess signing off for Game 1 of the season. Mustangs fall 10-9 to the Bulldogs.